Jiri Komarek from MapTile. He's a head of marketing and also one of the OSM guys in the company. And he's going to present OSM Carto as a vector tiles, so that the work they've done to adapt OSM Carto as to vector tiles.
Okay, so thank you. Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being introduced. I'm Jiri Komarek. I'm working for MapTiler, which is a company that builds digital maps, mostly from OpenStreetMap, and it's providing it for developers via API, or for GIS people as well. And apart from this, like the commercial part, we are also quite involved in a lot of open source projects. You might know the OpenMapTiles. This is the tool for building your own vector tiles. This is something I will talk about later on. But we were also one of the companies that started MapLibre. This is the library for displaying the maps on the websites and in mobile applications. And we also contributed, or we created the QGIS plugin for displaying vector tiles in QGIS. The support for vector tiles in QGIS was done by another company, but we are one of the sponsors of this. This presentation will be split into several parts. In the first part, I will talk a little bit about the theory, what are the vector tiles. Then I will tell you what are the advantages, why you should care about this technology and maybe start using it. Then I will tell you a little bit more about the OSM Carto, how we turn this style, you probably know from the openstreetmap.org, how we turn it into the style for the vector tiles. Then how you can using it on web, in 3D, in QGIS. And the last part, the most important, the most interesting one is about, well, just wait for it. All right. So the first question is, what are the vector tiles? Who knows what are vector tiles? Can you raise your hand? Make sure that you really know what it is, because I will ask one of you, what is the definition of vector tiles? So maybe you have to, your hand. Okay, that's a nice definition. I'm not sure if it's like the best definition or the correct definition, because I don't know the definition, but I can tell you how it works. But thanks for that. So basically, over here, you can see how the typical vector tiles looks like. Mostly they are done in the Mercator projection, even though it's not like you can do it in any projection, but the Mercator is the de facto standard on websites and in modern maps. And it's split into the tiles, exactly as you said. There is like one tile on the zoom 0, which is split into 4 tiles on the zoom level 1. And each of these tiles is again split into 4 tiles in the next zoom level, and so on and so on. These tiles are available on the ZXY address, where Z stands for the zoom level. So over here, you can see the 1 is the zoom level 1. So it's over here, it's the zoom level 0. Over here is the zoom level 1. And X and Y stands for the row and for the column, or for the column and the row. Something else? I think that's about it. So far, it sounds pretty similar to raster tiles, right? So what is the difference then? So the traditional raster tiles you will get as PNG or WebP or JPEG images that are like next to each other. In vector tiles, you will get the data in PBF format, which stands for protocol binary format. the data over here is not image, but they are like vectors. They are much smaller. Here I put some statistics for like Word, Italy, and Firenze, Florence. So you can see it's pretty small. But if you just open these data, you will see something like on this image over there. It's quite boring, right? Because what you are looking at, they are just like pure data, and you need to add the style to create this beautiful, beautiful map. So how to make the style? The style is a style.json file, which is like made based on the Mapbox.gl style specification. The style.json contains like multiple layers, each for like different type of information. And this style, you can either do it like manually, as you can see here. That's completely fine, but a little bit hard, I would say. So therefore, there are some style editors. The one I'm like showing is like the one you can find on the maptiler.com/cloud. So this is really easy to use. Well, but there are some others if you like to. Actually, in these editors, you can either work with all the layers together. So you can say like all the water over here should change the water from blue to red or whatever you want to, or probably you just want to have it a little bit darker blue or lighter blue. We have also like the advanced editor where you can really work like with the individual features. So you can say that the roads on the level 3, they should have like a different color, and they should change this color when you are zooming in, or becoming more opaque, or things like this, basically. But it's more advanced, and well, if you get into it, it's a lot of fun, but you need to spend some time on this. Another advantages, huge advantages of the, sorry, one more thing I forgot here. It's like if you want to create a different style with raster tiles, you need to build like the new set of tiles. So you need to render the entire planet again. Over here, you take just the one data, and you need to create only the new style.json, which is a file that has like few hundred of kilobytes, which is really small. And you can use it for the same data. So with the one data, you can have like thousands, or, well, I put here infinite number of the map styles. The same goes for the languages. If you want to change the language of the raster tiles, again, you need to render the entire tile set. Or you can use some hacks like put the labels into separate layer and then show it together. Well, this is not something you want to do, but it's possible. But with vector tiles, it's really easy. Actually, you can have also like automatic detection based on the user browser. So whenever someone comes and has like a browser set to Italian, you will show all the map labels, all the countries and cities in Europe or all over the world in Italian. If someone joins from China, you will show the map labels in the Chinese, and so on and so on. Or it can be done also based on the IP address of the, or the location of the person. Or you can change it manually. This is really up to you. Or what you can also have, you can have like two labels at the same time, whatever you want. In OpenMapTiles, the project we developed for creating the vector tiles, we have currently more than 70 languages. If your favorite language is missing, we are really keen to add it. Just feel free to send a pull request, and it will be probably much soon. Another advantage, it's like the disputed borders. This is also something you can change. based on the viewer's perspective or based on your perspective. Probably this is something you are familiar with, this situation. So you can show, for instance, in some countries, I know this is the issue, well, this is quite harsh situation here, but there is the issue with like Argentina and Chile. They have like a dispute, they are not fighting about it, but they have this issue over there. So if someone joins from Argentina, this person can see that this particular area belongs to Argentina, and the same for the people from Chile. And as I said, all of this, for making all of this happen, you can use this open source OpenMapTiles project, which is a project for generating the vector tiles. It contains the cartographic schema, also like the rendering part. The entire project is made by the community. Yes, we started it and we maintain it, but the community is really active, and a lot of people and also companies is contributing to this. So if you are interested, just have a look at it, download it, test it, and feel free to join. We are using like multiple data over there. So as I said, we are using the OpenStreetMap. That's our base for most of our maps. For like higher zoom levels, we are using natural earth data for land cover, and we are using Wikidata for these translations. So as I said, these 17 languages, we have quite covered a lot of cities thanks to the connection to the Wikidata. And as I said, that is active project. So the version 3.13 was released like early this year, and right now we are working on the version 3.14. If you don't want to like bother with all these technical things and you just want to test it because you are like the end user, or you just want to do it fast, then I would recommend to go to MapTiler Cloud, where everything what I said is available. It's really easy to use. So just go there and check it. And what you can already see on the background, this is something you are quite familiar with, right? More or less, this map looks like OpenStreetMap.org, but it is not. This is the OpenStreetMap Carto Style, which we took and we turn it as a style for vector tiles. So right now I will show you a few slides on different zoom levels. So can you say like if it's OSM.org or if it's our implementation of the OSM Carto? Okay, I am happy that you cannot. And here. How was it made? Ah, yeah, here we are. So the preparation, actually, this style was done by my colleague, Nicolas Bosson, who is our main cartographer, actually a great cartographer. So he took all the visuals that were available and tried to remake it using our advanced editor. So first thing that is really important are the really typical colors. Then the land cover. What you can see here, it's not only the land cover itself or the color of the land cover, but also the textures. Land use, and of course we cannot miss the icons and map labels. And now, how you can use it? So the best option is using vector tiles. Well, vector tiles are available for a leaflet for OpenMapTiles. That's true via some plugins, and it somehow works. But the really best way how to use the full power of vector tiles is using the MapLibre, which is, as I said, the project, the mapping library, the JavaScript library for web and for mobile devices. You can also, if you use this style from MapTiler Cloud, you can rasterize it. If you have some use case when you need to use raster tiles, then this is an option. We also provide the WTMS service for some older GIS systems and static maps for the website. All right, and this is something which you probably haven't seen before. This is your favorite map style done in 3D. This is possible via MapLibre. This functionality came to MapLibre just a few months ago with MapLibre 2.1. As I said, you can also use vector tiles in QGIS for 1 year, more than 1 year. The easiest way, again, we provide this MapTiler plugin for QGIS. You can fully use it like for your base map if you need it for your project, or you can print the OpenStreetMap or any map made from the OpenStreetMap, any style made from the OpenStreetMap in really high resolution. So these are the open source projects I mentioned in the presentation. So go to this website and check them out. And as I said, the most important information will be at the end. Right now, we have a discussion, ongoing discussion with the OpenStreetMap Foundation about adding vector tiles to the openstreetmap.org website. What we propose is like to using the OpenMapTiles schema for this, and we are also providing the Carto style as open source. It will be soon released as open source on GitHub, available for everybody. Yeah, I think that's it. If you are interested, as I said, go to the MapTiler Cloud, try this service with all the technology and cool features I was talking about. And if you are interested in what we are doing, if you want to see the latest news, then follow us on our social media. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jiri, for your presentation, and really on time. Also, we have a couple of minutes more to have questions. Before coming to you, audience, I see here a few questions. One was, I start from this one because you already answered. If the Carto Style was released, is released with open license, so you can mention maybe the time frame where you think it would be available?
Soon.
Soon, okay. And as well as SVG icons, do you know whether the icons behind? Probably yes.
Yes.
Okay, good.
My colleague over there.
Yeah,
so it means
was nothing. Yeah. So another question is about the attribution requirements for OpenMapTiles. So do a user using the open source OpenMapTiles with OSM have to add a specific attribution, or is the usual OSM attribution enough? Maybe it's a bit technical, but
currently there is the OpenMapTiles attribution required. And that's it? Yes, that's it for now.
Okay, so far we...
But follow us on the social media, so maybe you will see something over there.
Okay. And another question that has another an upvote was about having added new features or layers to the OpenMapTiles vector schema. I think compared to the OSM one?
Well, actually, it's possible. How it works right now, we want to create like the OpenMapTiles, the core, we want to keep it as the base map. That was like the idea. And if you want to have something more, then the best way is to create a new overlay specifically for you. Because if we add more and more features, we can do it, but then the planet will really like start to grow. So we want to balance it on the level where we have like all the important features for the base maps, but not too much of them.
Okay.
So the best thing, if you want to add something, if you think something important is missing, then just talk to us, and yeah, let's see.
The question was also that if you've already added something on top of the current Carto style, if I understood well, did you have add features or layers to the OpenMapTiles vector tile schema?
Not an expert on the Carto, but I don't think so.
Okay.
It could happen, but
there are some. So. Sorry, for the audience.
Yeah, the entire project is on GitHub, and there's great development on Americana style on OpenStreetMap, which should be highlighted here. I guess the people working on Americana are here as well. So that's a style of a roadmap on top of OpenMapTiles, on top of OpenStreetMap. And they contributed quite a lot of the features as well, which are similar features like now in OSM Carto. And there is more development going on the community. So anybody who wants to add any kind of things into OpenMapTiles, it's just pull request and code is on GitHub. So either you make a fork or you maintain it, or you propose it to the project back.
Yep, thanks.
So I would ask you in the audience if you have questions. Okay, I see one there up and another one there.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not quite clear about the OpenMapTiles. You've been talking about that, and say it's the base and everything is in the OpenMapTiles and the 70 languages and all that. When I look at the GitHub repository and at the website, the schema hasn't been updated in years. The styles, they haven't been updated in years. There's not in the schema, if you look at the documentation, there's only 2 languages and they are not 70. So I'm a bit, I don't understand sort of what's there, and it looks like I have to go to MapTiler.com and to get all of that. If you go to OpenMapTiles.org and look at the schema, you see 2 languages, not 70. If you look at the GitHub, OpenMapTiler GitHub repository, there's several styles there. They have not been updated in years, the GitHub repositories. So I'm just, can you exactly say where those things are? Because I couldn't find them.
I'm not sure where you have been looking at, but if you go to openmaptiles.org/languages, there is quite a lot of languages, but maybe we haven't updated somewhere.
The schema documentation on openmaptiles.org, if you click on schema, you get a definition of all the schemas, and it says language German and English you can have. It doesn't say anything about all the many languages.
Sorry, without the microphone, the audience doesn't get it.
Yeah, the code base is in the GitHub. It's the complete latest release. Also, it's updated as well. Maybe it's slightly behind on the latest one, and we are changing the proposals on pull request, because if people are contributing, they were not always updating the documentation, and the languages itself there are 6 languages in the older version, and it has been updated, so now it's a parameter behind. So that's why it's not part of the documentation, because there's this 70, and it's not 70 attributes. It's colon and name of the language, but it has been documented in the GitHub in the issues when the new language proposal implementation was done. But yes, you are right, the documentation should be improved, as always with the open source projects. But everything is in the GitHub at OpenMapTiles, at github.com/OpenMapTiles/OpenMapTiles is the official implementation with all the code base, and it's also self-documenting because of the YAML files, so you know what attributes are there and how to approach it. And it's relatively straightforward to have a look at the code of the layer and at the attributes of that layer inside.
Sorry, let's try to move to the second question, please. If not, we don't have time. Maybe you can talk each other a bit later. Yeah.
Okay, very happy. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, wow, self-documenting YAML files, sounds fun. Yeah, several years ago, I gave a similar talk, porting OSM Carto to vector tiles and using a very different approach and very different technique, and it didn't work very well. So I'm very interested to see when you have something, you know, done actually released and stuff, and we sort out the attribution stuff and all that open sourcey stuff, then that'd be something I will definitely play with and probably bother you on GitHub. That was actually more of a comment than a question. Release stuff.
Hi there, my name's Andy, and I'm the original maintainer of the OpenStreetMap Carto project. I love what you're doing. OpenStreetMap Carto is open source for a reason. We want people to reuse the code and reuse the ideas. But I have to ask the question, why did you choose a name OSM Carto for a commercial project developed by a commercial company? Do you not think that OSM Carto as a name and a brand is a bit confusing compared to a community project called OpenStreetMap Carto?
Well, actually, because we want to say that this is like inspired by the OSM Carto, and we also like, as I said, we want to make it open source. So the purpose was like to develop it for the OpenStreetMap. So that's why we thought it's a good idea.
Yeah, I would say maybe in retrospect asking the maintainers what they think before the maintainers first find a commercial project available with that name.
Yeah.
Sure, but you can imagine like if a commercial company makes an OpenStreetMap editing software called, I don't know, HOSM or GOSM, or, you know, so similar to an existing project, I think perhaps it would be good to talk to the maintainers first.
So we can have a last question from here for a gentleman here.
Yeah, hello. I'm Ben. So I wanted to build a style sheet based on OpenMapTiles for cyclists, and I noticed there's a lot of stuff missing, and I was wondering if it would be okay to try and get it to add this information to the OpenMapTiles schema. But I was wondering, where is the limit of what you will add to the vector tiles? Because eventually, if everyone comes up with their own use cases, the tiles will become, well, basically everything that is in OpenStreetMap. So where is the limit, and what's the use case you see, and how far will this go for OpenMapTiles? And is it worth for me to put in the work to do that?
As I already mentioned, the original idea of the OpenMapTiles was to create like the base map, so something everybody will use, and some specific use case will be hold somewhere else. So it is on the discussion with us. Probably the best idea is like just to talk to us maybe on the here on the conference and see like what are your ideas, how we see it, and yeah, we can come up to the conclusion. Right.
Do you want to add something to the answer? Okay.
For the specific project, it's recommended that you use the tool set and make your own GitHub repo. So if you have something like a C-specific tile set, it's quite easy to combine the base map with the specific tile sets on top of it. There was a talk about it on the last state of the map, so have a look at the step-by-step guide on how to do that. And feedback on the branding, the word Carto is not used on the product itself. We call it OpenStreetMap style in there, and it's really, we are trying to help the community as much as we can, and this is going to be all open. So hopefully it's welcomed. Yeah.
Thank you very much for this. We don't have more time for questions, so you can meet, I think, in the lobby or during the lunch. Thank you again, Jiri, for the presentation.
Thank you.